Apocalyptic events erupt, causing global biological mutations, with 90% of humanity turning into zombies to face the apocalypse. Among the remaining humans, some awakened telekinesis, some developed fire-based abilities, and some gained the hardness of copper and steel. Even animals underwent genetic mutations. The protagonist, Duan Fei, awakened the S-class ability, Devouring. Just as Duan Fei was wondering if Devouring could be used on humans, he unexpectedly encountered an acquaintance, Lin 11, in the virus testing city. From her, he learned that his sister, Kujie, had risen rapidly in status since arriving at the shelter, but was now facing a major problem. Duan Fei's original purpose in coming here was to use Commander Luo Yang's information network to find his missing sister, Duan Xingyue. Therefore, Duan Fei entrusted Jinbao to Lin Wanwen's care to avoid being dismissed if he tested positive for the zombie virus. He said they would discuss solutions together once he was settled. Lin Wanwen was puzzled as to why Duan Fei seemed so confident from the start. After completing the blood sampling, Duan Fei was taken to a room where quite a few people were waiting for the results. Just then, an officer entered. "Who is Wang Dezhuang?" A white-collar worker emerged, clutching his neck, and was immediately escorted out by two soldiers. The officer angrily reprimanded everyone, telling them to take responsibility and not to let anyone carrying the virus in. Sure enough, the veins in Wang Dezhuang's neck bulged. The remaining refugees were tense, awaiting the results. Then the officer announced, "Except for one named Duan Fei, everyone else will be settled today and will begin repairing the shelter tomorrow." Duan Fei was puzzled. "Why am I being kept here?" But after everyone else had left, the officer suddenly and respectfully invited Duan Fei. "Captain Chow instructed that you are a VIP." Duan Fei then went to a private suite, but he felt no joy because his sister, Xingyue, was still missing. Little did he know, Duan Xingyue was currently immersed in a nutrient solution. After a series of physical examinations, the mysterious organization concluded that Duan Xingyue did not contain what they were looking for. Just then, someone knocked on Duan Fei's door, and Lin Wanwen came in carrying Jinbao. "Brother Duan, how about we have dinner together tonight?" Jinbao, reluctant to leave, insisted that Lin Wanwen bring Xiaku along too, so he could explain the trouble he'd encountered. Lin Wanwen sighed. After resolving what abilities he'd awakened, Commander Guan's men had been pressuring him. "Choose a faction." A murderous glint flashed in Duan Fei's eyes. "It's that Commander Guan again?" However, just then, the shelter's alarm sounded. Lin Wanwen was used to it. It was probably another one. In conclusion, they clashed. Duan Fei's eyes flashed with unwavering determination. "Let's go, take me to the scene. Guan Zhonghua's men have found us again over at the cafeteria." "Why are you guys so persistent?" "I've already said I don't agree with Guan Zhonghua's management policies," he said. Just as the other party was about to attack, he was met with a mocking smile. The middle-parted man blocked Xiaku's path. Should the captain reconsider? After all, a wise bird chooses its tree. But in the next instant, Xiaku unleashed an incomparably powerful mental force, silencing the surrounding furniture with the release of this force. The middle-parted man had also awakened his S-rank fire-based ability, and the fat man behind him was now covered in incredibly hard metal. The middle-parted man then released a fireball towards Xiaku, intending to burn through his vest. Duan Fei easily shattered the fireball with a single slap. Both men looked on in surprise. "It's you again." Duan Fei's eyes flashed with malice. "I didn't expect to see our arrogant platoon leader again like this," he thought, urging the middle-parted man to quickly eliminate Duan Fei, this thorn in his side. Flames immediately compressed and condensed in front of the middle-parted man, with his metal-mimicking henchman taking the brunt of the attack, rather than instinctively releasing a devouring skill. Never mind, what if someone gets killed? With only 30% of his strength, the punch sent the younger brother flying, the sound of metal shattering echoing from his cheekbone. The middle-parted man, terrified, soiled himself, sweating profusely as Duan Fei approached. Why did he have to choose Guan Zhonghua? The middle-parted man immediately knelt on the ground, begging Duan Fei to spare him. Duan Fei, however, only used 10% of his strength, shattering his sternum before immediately retreating, his face filled with astonishment. 2 moves to defeat 2 awakened beings. Duan Fei walked towards his last target, giving him a. The platoon leader began to threaten, saying that if the dojo commander didn't have a good ending, then Duan Fei firmly gripped the fat pig's snout. I'd really like to see his skills, the fat pig yelled, cursing inwardly. The class monitor tried to stop him, saying, "If you don't let go, this fat pig will die, and things will get even more complicated." Duan Fei came to his senses and realized he had gone too far. Who told this fat pig to waste food? Air released his grip and threw him to the ground. A group of soldiers rushed over, announcing that all the rioters would be handcuffed and taken away. Currently, only Duan Fei and Xiaku were still conscious. Everyone except Fatty Pig was unconscious. Duan Fei then unleashed a burst of flames from his right hand, declaring, "Let's see who dares to come down." Ku immediately stopped Duan Fei from rioting, telling him to calm down and that even Luo Yang couldn't stop them if they continued. At this moment, a mischievous idea sprouted in Duan Fei's mind. At Fatty Pig's instigation, Duan Fei and Xiaku were handcuffed. Fatty Pig separated the two, saying, "I'll personally handle this man. It's perfect timing. I can also check with Guan Zhonghua in his cell to see if Xinyue is there too." After all, Xinyue had awakened, and Guan Zhonghua had a motive. So, the two were taken away by Guan Zhonghua's men as a warning to others. Lin Wenwen was anxious but couldn't do anything. She said, "I'll take care of Jinbao for you." Duan Fei smiled easily. "It's all right. I'll be back soon." The two were then taken to a prison. Fatty Pig gestured for someone to take Xiaku elsewhere first, as he had prepared some good things for Duan Fei down there. Along the way, Duan Fei kept thinking about whether he could find a new prison. He checked this dungeon himself. When Duan Fei reached the cell door, he saw 8 muscular men already waiting, the air thick with the stench of blood. It seemed this was where they used torture. Fat Pig platoon leader, have everyone attack and give this bastard a good beating. Kill him or nothing, no one will find out. Duan Fei easily broke the handcuffs. I'm relieved to hear that. The moment the 8 muscular soldiers rushed forward, Duan Fei suddenly stood upside down, spinning once around the ground. All the muscular soldiers were knocked unconscious, leaving only Fatty Pig platoon leader and the armed special forces soldier. Then Fatty Pig pulled out a bottle of zombie blood and threatened him. "If anything happens, your friend Lin Wenwen will be injected with zombie blood." Duan Fei gritted his teeth, wishing he could tear this fat pig to pieces. Just then, Chao Silong arrived with his men. The fat pig panicked instantly, pointing at his unconscious brother and starting to falsely accuse him, claiming that this kid had attacked the police first. Chao Silong grabbed the platoon leader's wrist, saying, "That's contraband. The consequences are enough to kill you 800 times over. Say what you have to say to Commander Luo. Take him away." Duan Fei smiled and said, "How did you know I was in danger?" Chao Silong said helplessly, "No, I was afraid that if I had arrived a second later, they would have died at your hands. By the way, Commander Luo Yang wants to see you and has the answers you need. He'll tell you with a wave of his hand." But when the elevator doors opened, all that was visible was a distant stone statue. At that moment, Luo Yang was actually standing alive and well before Duan Fei.